Welcome back to North of the Broad. I'm your host, Karen Wyman, coming to you from Higher Ground in Beaufort. I'm joined this afternoon by the one and only Aunt Pearlie Sue. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
So nice to have you again as a guest here on North of the Broad.
I'm so blessed to be here.
You are blessed, yeah, and I feel blessed to be able to talk to you this afternoon. We are going to talk about Gullah Festival, which is coming up, my God, May 25th through the 27th in the downtown Chambers Waterfront Park. What year festival is this?
This is a year 32.
Year 32.
And really 33, but one year we boycotted, so so it makes it the 32nd.
The 32nd annual Gullah Festival. A lot going on, and there's a lot of information we want to share with viewers. One of the things that's always important is the history of the Gullah Festival. So if there are people here listening to our interview, give us some history, some people who may not be aware of Gullah and the tradition and the importance of Gullah heritage.
First, I want folks to know that everybody has a piece of Gullah in them, and that Gullah represents multiculturalism like nothing else will. It's the blending of all of those cultures that came together during that horrible time in our history called the transatlantic slave trade, when the West Africans were brought here, forced here to come and work these plantations of the South, and brought all their cultural ways with them, blended with that of the Europeans, the many different European countries that represent the masters of these plantations. And we can't forget the Native Americans that were the original landowners.
Right.
So it's the blending of all of those cultures that came together that is what was birthed during that time, this beautiful culture called Gullah. So it connects us all, and we're all Gullah kinfolk, whether we want to be or not.
Whether we want to think so or not, it's just the way it is. So some of the highlights of the festival, share that with our viewers.
Well, this year, you know, we're talking about the past, the present, and the future. And you know, the present was, you know, this blockbuster movie, Black Panther, and I was got a chance to finally go see it and realize that the fictitious African country of Wakanda really was Beaufort during Reconstruction, because we were isolated and a lot of things were happening in Beaufort County during that time for blacks that was futuristic, just like Wakanda's futuristic.
Yes.
And so you had T'Challa, the hero of the Black Panther. We had General Robert Smalls. You had the general, the black general, for which was his bodyguard in the Black Panther, and we had Harriet Tubman that came through here, whose nickname was also the general. You know, was this woman warrior. So it's so many parallels that this movie brings out at this time that celebrates our 32nd Gullah Festival. So we want to emphasize that history, the future history, the past history, and the present history.
And of course that brings us, you know, so why should people attend? Because of that history and how it connects us all. You know, you and I don't have enough time to talk about all the wonderful things that we want to, but there are some questions I just want to ask you, and so that you can share them with our audience. There's some connection to Sierra Leone, West Africa, to Beaufort. Talk a little bit about that for me.
Most of the Africans that ended up in America possibly came through Sierra Leone or from Sierra Leone by way of Bunce Island. So this year we're celebrating that connection. We have several different Sierra Leonean organizations and groups that's coming to be a part of this festival this year. I'm so excited. Brother Amadou Masali, who is from Freetown, Sierra Leone, will be pouring the libation at the official Gullah Festival opening on Saturday. Kendall Decker, who's also from Freetown, will be doing a poetry reading of his spoken word. We have the Sierra Leonean amputees that will be demonstrating dancing. Last year it was fascinating. This one young lady had lost her leg doing one of the coups, and she dances on one leg, and they do different things with the soccer ball. So we're excited about that. So we'll be doing that, as well as the Barbadians.
You was going to say that there's a connection to Barbados, the West
Indies
Indies.
as well. And people need to know that South Carolina is a colony of a colony. The same Lord proprietors that colonized Barbados, West Indies, colonized South Carolina.
And of course, the festival wouldn't be the festival without some wonderful artists and food. We want to emphasize that they will
Yes.
also be there. So if somebody has not been to the Gullah Festival before, whether you live here in Beaufort County, Jasper County, we want to encourage everybody to come and get a taste of what Gullah is all about
Right.
and the history that it so beautifully represents. Pearlie, so thank you so much for
Thank
being a
you.
guest on
Thank
North
you
of the
so
Broad. Would
much.
always love to have you on, and hopefully you'll come back and talk to us again sometime soon.
Love to.
Awesome. We'll be right back with our next guest
Thank you.
on North of the Broad.